Hey everyone, welcome to the Citizen channel. It's Bernard here. I hope you're all okay and staying very, very well. Yeah, it's a little big match analysis today. So a little big match analysis on, of course, the Manchester City versus Brighton and Hove Albion game on the 13th of January 2021. It was a 6 p.m. kickoff, so that wasn't too bad, was it? A couple of people complaining, saying, why is it on at such an early time? It'll do for me when you're up early. That'll do a 6 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, so we'll have our little match analysis. The match stats and Men and Manchester Evening News, Mr. Bukowski's ratings, my own little comments and ratings, of course, quirky stats, and any conclusions we can make on Brighton, more importantly, City after that last night, yeah, and anything in the headlines, nothing exciting. Obviously, it's quite complimentary on Phil, obviously, as you'd expect in the newspaper headlines today. Anyway, please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notification, all these vlogs are coming out, that'd be great. Do check all my playlists for all my City stuff, past and present, and you'll see some film stuff on there as well, film and TV. I have a little film and TV channel, if that's any of interest to you. If it's not, just stick with the football, there's plenty of it, but in the film and TV channel, I do reviews and information, vlogs, etc. Just have a look at that if you fancy that as well, or you might know someone who's interested in that, that'd be great. And of course, you can follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter. I do check every 2 or 3 days. So if you're after some followers and friends, etc., just seek me out, and I will reciprocate with that. And of course, all comments are welcome. Obviously, they're growing now. I've got, I used to have a couple of guys who used to comment and little comments and share their memories, which are great. And obviously, it's sort of growing now. It's probably 4, 5, 6 people now on a regular basis. So all comments are great. If you can't make a comment, please give us a thumbs up. It's nice to get thumbs up. It's lovely to get loads of views. I mean, obviously some of these recent vlogs have done very well on views, but it's really nice to get a thumbs up. It's just if you can do that. If you like it, if you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. No, I'm only kidding. Please, no thumbs down. Right, let's have a look at this, shall we? Let's have a look at this game. Yeah, the City starting lineup. 4 changes to the FA Cup game against Birmingham. Ederson, as we expected. Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, Zinchenko. That was unusual, I thought. I'm not sure. I thought Walker would play and Cancelo on the other side, but there you go. All credit to Zinchenko. He's not been playing that bad. Rodri, Gundogan, KDB, Mahrez, Foden and Bernardo. Yeah, a lot of optimism with that team, to be honest with you. The subs: Stephen, Walker, Sterling, Jesus, Torres, Mendy, Ferner, Harwood, Bellis and Mbete. He's getting to warm that bench a bit, isn't he, Mbete? Yeah, I got 8 right, I suppose, which is all right, isn't it? I mean, I had who didn't I have? Yeah, I had Walker starting. Who else did I have? I thought Jesus and Sterling would start as well. I'm very surprised with that forward line. But yeah, on social media, a lot of people were happy with that. B at Thatcher's elbow. He has an opinion, this guy. Some interesting stuff he puts on Twitter. He just says, so we're just giving up on strikers, though. So that was his comment. I thought it was quite funny. It made me smile anyway. And Yannick Carr said, the fact everyone loves the starting lineup is making me nervous. Yeah, well, yeah, don't be nervous. Never be nervous when it's City, but yeah, there wasn't much negativity. I saw a bit of negativity about Mahrez starting, but nothing changes, does it? The more it stays the same, nothing ever changes. It stays the same. Well, obviously Mahrez is not everyone's number one, but there you go. Well, he's not number one, is he? Whatever. I don't even know what number he is now. That shows how bad I am. I don't even know his squad number. I can't even think. I would have thought about it. I haven't got a clue. Referee was Darren England. It's his 5th Premiership game, I believe. Listening to the guys last night, and they got that right. I mean, there's not much to get right, these commentators, but his linos last night was Stuart Burt, Simon Bennett, 4th official Michael Oliver, VAR was Mr. Dean, and assistant VAR was Dan Robathan, yeah. Match summations and stats, here we go. The first 45 minutes, yeah, almost a very frustrating half, wasn't it? I was just shaking my head most of that half, but hey, we've got Phil Foden, haven't we? Yeah, first real chance, 14 minutes. KDB was fed through it. It was blocked by the keeper Sanchez, but again, I think KDB could have done better with it. Just poor finishing. I think he should have done better. I think it's Gundogan supplied the pass, a good pass by Gundogan. 18 minutes, they had their first half chance, didn't they? Which they perhaps should have done a little bit better. Trossard, is it? Trossard, I did mention him before. He's one of the only guys I've heard of, but he's shot wide, didn't he? 26 minutes. Mahrez on his right, finished poorly from about 8 yards out from a great KDB. You remember that? He went to volley it, didn't he, at the back post? I don't know what he did. I have no idea. I think he was trying to pass it back to the keeper. I'm not sure what he was doing, Mahrez. All right, it was his wrong foot, but it was pretty poor, to be honest with you. I've seen him score goals with his right foot, and I have no idea where that came from. 27 minutes, you had that indirect free kick, didn't we? And they sort of laughed off the fact that the players weren't 10 yards by the time they kicked. I mean, it's not funny, really, is it? It's the law. It's the law of the game. They should be 10 yards. The referee should make them take it. Again, I just don't understand how these things are sort of laughed off as all that stuff. That's fine. I mean, they should be punished. They've made an error. I mean, it was definitely a back pass, and no matter how much the keeper whinged, or the defender whinged, and it was the defender who was moaning. We had one the other week, didn't we? A couple of games ago, a similar sort of thing, which was less of a back pass than that, because he seemed to just poke it back, if I remember rightly, and it went back to Stefan, didn't he? He picked it up, but yeah, I mean, they laugh about it, but hey, the rules are you have to be 10. So if that ball's kicked and you're 7 or 8 yards away, I'm sorry, it has to be taken again. Hey, but there you go. It didn't matter in the end, does it? But these little things could matter. That's the problem. 40 minutes was a quick City break from a Brighton corner, wasn't it? Foden was sort of went around. He did actually lose it, but it rebounded nicely to KDB. He did hit it quite well, actually. He hit it quite well, and Sanchez again pulled off a reasonable save that time. So again, I couldn't put too much blame on KDB. At least he's put his foot through it. Of course, 44 minutes. We're all getting depressed, weren't we? But there we go. Foden, fantastic. When he picks it up, runs into space, perhaps a little movement of his shoulders just to put the defenders off. And I thought it was wide. I thought it had gone wide. It didn't seem any sort of celebration initially, and then obviously it was in the net. It was only when the commentator said something I realised it had gone in the net. I thought it had gone wide, but a cracking goal by Phil Foden. I mean, he doesn't always do things right as such, but hey, what a fantastic. This is what we want. This is what used to pull good teams out of it. If you're having a bad game, you need one player to step up. Yaya used to do it for us, didn't he? He used to step up and pull something out of the fire for us. And Foden, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be that sort of player, because we can't really rely on Mr. KDB at the moment to do that, can we? I might start KDB watching his last season the way it's going at the moment. I don't know. I know he's not signed his new contract yet, has he? I'm getting a funny feeling off Kevin De Bruyne. I don't know what you think out there, but I am getting a weird feeling from watching KDB. And we'll talk about this thing right at the end as well. That's even more annoyed me, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about that anyway. Second half. Yeah, 1-0 at half time. Yeah, I mean, Brighton, from their point of view, all they have to do is pretty much do the same again, because they always looked they could have snuck one, didn't they? From a set piece or a breakaway or something like that. So yeah, I bet Brighton weren't too disappointed. I'm sure they were, but I think they were hoping for 0-0, obviously. But even at 1-0, they still had a good chance. And I just thought we'd play with a lot more confidence in the second. I did write this at half time. I just wrote, City should now play with more confidence. Let's finish it off. That's what I wrote at half time on the actual script here that I've got down here. So I think that's how I felt, and that's how we should have done. It didn't quite work out like that, did it? Into the second half, yeah, it was a good 11 minutes before we had a chance, and it was for Brighton. Edison was well behind a shot from distance, a volley, wasn't it, from the Brighton? But that could have flown into the top corner. You don't know, do you? 58 minutes, Mahrez beat the offside trap, didn't he? But I mean, again, a poor finish from Mahrez. He did everything right. Perhaps on his mind he was offside, but at the end of the day, you can't think that, can you? You've just got to go on and put the ball in the net. But really ideal for him. He should have really put that in, to be honest with you. 59 minutes, a good Gundogan shot saved. And yeah, I mean, Bernardo, so unlucky. I mean, he had a good game again last night, didn't he, Bernardo? But he sort of nutmegged the defender and then hit the post, and he's put his foot through it again. That was great. But so close. I mean, that would have been wonderful if Bernardo, that shot had gone in that hit the post. Yeah, 60 minutes, for about 3 or 4 minutes, we were panicking a little bit. They had a purple patch. I mean, we'll talk about it at the end as well, in the conclusion later on. But yeah, they did have a little bit of a purple patch for Brighton. And we didn't look that great. We looked a bit panicky, to be honest with you. Sort of panicky in a sort of okay way, but we did seem to become a bit, get your foot on it, lads, pass it about a little bit more. And it gave them confidence, of course. But then on 66 minutes, literally we could have put the game to bed, couldn't we? Had 2 great chances with Cancelo and KDB bringing saves from Sanchez. 67 minutes, we took Mahrez off and brought Jesus on. Didn't have the greatest 23 minutes, Mr. Jesus, did he? 78 minutes. We were nearly caught out. A through ball, Edison, if you looked, I just saw him at the top of the pitch and I thought, Ederson, what are you doing there? And unfortunately, the striker wasn't clever enough to chip it over him or lob it, or the ball didn't sit right for it. I'm not too sure, but Ederson could have been really humiliated there, and we could have been humiliated. It would have been 1-1, wouldn't it? But yeah, he was. I did notice that before they even commentated. So I thought, well, what's he doing? Because there was no way he should have come out for it, and he was sort of coming to the edge of his box. So yeah, Ederson. Yeah, he didn't have a bad game, but that was a bit of a fault with Ederson there, and we were still becoming a bit sloppy after that. I made a little comment here that even into the 80th minute, we calmed down a little bit, surprisingly enough, when Foden went off and Sterling came on. I think perhaps Brighton were more worried of Sterling, perhaps his potential. We know he's obviously who dive of on the pitch, but obviously he still has a reputation, Sterling, doesn't he? And then you get the 91 minutes. Then you get the KDB draws. Absolute fantastic from KDB. I have no complaints about his work rate there to get that penalty and earn that penalty. But is KDB not the captain? I did joke on Twitter. It's a good job. It's a shame KDB as captain wasn't on the pitch. He would have picked that ball up and put that and scored that penalty. Why did Sterling take it? I have no idea. I mean, I've not read anything today. I've not gone on Twitter or social media. I've literally come home from work and just doing this vlog for you now. So I have no idea what the reason for that was. I mean, I know he's missed one, but I'm sure he's scored one since then, and I'm sure he has done. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care if he misses one. He should take the next one anyway. Absolute. I'm sorry, from a captain, that was not good enough for me from KDB. There may have been a reason. He may have took a knock. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But if someone can enlighten me at City, Pep Guardiola, did anyone ask Pep why Sterling took it? Because I had no confidence that was going in the net. Did you? There you go. But yeah, so another bit of a black mark against Mr. KDB. As I said, I'm beginning to worry a little bit about Mr. KDB, to be honest with you. He's still, even when I'm worried about him, he still does enough, doesn't he? He still got an assist last night, which is half the battle. Yeah, full time. So yeah, I think Brighton might be upset there that they didn't get anything out of that game. City, we're not really, we weren't really in control that second half all the time. I think most of it, yes, but we still were sort of hanging on at times, and perhaps the conditions weren't great. Whether the weather's rubbish, it was horrible again, but it was a clean sheet, so that's all we can ask, isn't it? The ref watch, I think he did all right. I think Mr. England, I think he did okay, don't you? The ref had no complaints really. He was all right. I'll give him a 6.5 out of 10 mark for the referee, Mr. England. Well done, mate. I say we're not seeing much of you, but hopefully we'll see a little bit more of you. Match stats: 16 for City with 5 on target, 6 for Brighton with 1 on target. Possession 66% for City, 34 Brighton. Passes 718 for City, 381 for Brighton. Pass completion, so the accuracy and completion, 89% for City, and that was up 92-93 in the first half. So that's to say that just shows that we did become a little bit jittery in that second half. 77% completion for Brighton. 4 fouls by City, 12 by Brighton. We're getting beat on the fouls lately, aren't we? We used to always win the fouls, and now we're losing them, which is a good thing, obviously. Corners 8 for City. I don't remember 8 corners for City. I might have that wrong way around. I do remember the 4 Brighton corners because I was panicking every time because of the big lads. I mean, one of them looked about 7'6", but there you go. Right, here we go. Player ratings, obviously. Manchester even used Mr. Bukowski. Yeah, my starting score for this one is 6. I'm just going to go 6 because even though we won, I just think it's a bog standard 6. I don't think we're anything special last night. We did what we had to do. We won, and that's all that matters. But so my starting point 6. I can't answer Mr. Bukowski's anyway. Ederson, here we go. I'll read Simon's first, and then I'll just add my little bit at the end. Did everything he needed to, making saves, commanding his area from corners, or throwing the ball on quickly to start counter attacks. So Simon's given him a 7. I've only given him a 6. I thought it was adequate. I thought a couple of his distribution wasn't fantastic, and as I say, he nearly got humiliated with that chance, but it's obviously Simon seems to have forgot there, which could have really undone anything, couldn't it? We've gone 1-1 in the 78th minute, something like that. Cancelo was forced to do more defending than I has done in recent weeks and struggled to be as effective, although did nearly score a very nice individual goal. He did. He's given him 6. I've given him less than 6. I've given him 5.5. I thought he had an awful game. Apart from that one thing, and he didn't score. He had a good goal. He took it well. He beat players and he looked good, but I think overall, I don't think Cancelo played that well last night, so I've only given him a 5.5. That's one of his poorer performances for me anyway. Stones, a crunching header in the opening seconds of the game, set the tone for one of the most dominant performances of the season. Brighton tested defence but never got past him. Yeah, he's given him an 8. Yeah, I mean, I've said my starting point 6. I'm going to give him a really solid 7. And I think sort of Marc, Stones and Diaz similar at the moment because of the way that unless one of them does anything stupid, I can't really part them on what they're doing. As I say, obviously Diaz is less messing about, but Stones was less messing about last night as well with the conditions. You can't be messing about. You can't be taking a chance on doing something fancy and slipping up and obviously letting the opponents in. So yeah, I'll give him a solid 7, Stones anyway. Diaz, comfortable on either side defence. Diaz led the back line terrifically and also ventured forward as City probed. Yeah, he did actually more last night. One of the leaders of the team already. He is a leader. He's fantastic. We love Diaz, don't we, already? Simon's giving him 8. Yeah, I give him the same as John Stones. I'll give him a solid 7. Zinchenko, Brighton found some joy behind him. They do. That's not his skill, is it? Defending. He was usually found typically high up the pitch. He was much better in Brighton's half and carried a threat with his close control near the box. He did. So let's give him a 6. Yeah, I give him the standard 6. As I say, he did okay, as I said, but he's a left back, obviously with a roaming sort of a license to roam, isn't he? A little bit, but yeah. Defensively, yeah, not great. He's obviously better going forward. So I'll just give him the average 6 because I think he got beat 2 or 3 times and I was a bit panicky at the back. And we don't seem to have any cover, do we? We seem to go 1-on-1 in defence half the time, which is great when you got Stones and Diaz in form. But Zinchenko perhaps not as good. Rodri, an effective performance protecting the back four and quickly moving the ball forward without taking too many touches or seconds. So there you go. 7. He's given him a 7. Yeah, I thought he was okay. Rodri, 6. I've given him a half a point extra, 6.5. I did notice him a little bit more last night, and as I said, I don't think he did anything particularly wrong. Gundogan, no, well, apart from this guy here now, Gundogan, more excellent intent in the box, saw him unlucky to be involved with a goal on a few occasions. He found the right balance between attacking and holding back with Rodri. Yeah, because I sort of... He's given him a 7, Gundogan. Again, I've given him a 6. He did some good stuff, but I did note 3 when I make my little notes on the game, which I can do when I'm not at the games now, which is a bit disappointing, isn't it? But there you go. At least I can make little notes. He made 3 really poor. He lost the ball for us about 3 times in the first 10 or 15 minutes with poor passes. So I have overall given him the standard 6. But yeah, he did okay after that. But again, as in the last game, I don't think he was that great last night. KDB, here we go. KDB, a customary assist with an excellent performance overall. He was behind most of City's creativity and played some delightful balls into the box that didn't get the finishes they deserved. Yeah, still Simon's given him an 8. Yeah, I mean, despite my disparity of him, I've given him a 7.5. So I'm not, as I say, I'm not sure why I didn't take the pen, but there may be a reason for it, so I've let that slide. Kevin, be on your guard, mate. I've let that slide this time, but I'll give him a 7.5 anyway. De Bruyne, Bernardo, no goals this time, but lots of running as he drove through the middle of the pitch from one box to another. The confidence appears to be growing. It certainly does. He's given him a 7. If he scored that goal, I would probably give him an 8. But yeah, I'd agree with a 7. So close to that other goal, and which would have been ideal for him. He is a funny player. He's not a natural scorer, is he? But you know he can score some crackers. And then we get on to Mr. Phil Foden, the best player on the pitch, says Simon. On this form, it's near impossible to leave him out while he's so essential to the team creating and scoring goals. So Simon's given a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I've given him my highest score of the day. I've given him 8, which obviously I'm always a bit meaner than Simon. Great goal and hard work as always, and always an option, always looking for the ball. Fantastic. Not everything comes off, but yeah, and I say the second half again we weren't great, but he wasn't alone in that, was he? Most of the City players, in a few games we watched this season, we've not been really on it for the second half. Mahrez, a disappointment after being so good at the weekend. He missed an excellent chance to make the game safe and couldn't complain with being taken off first. Yeah, he did have a good game at weekend against Birmingham. So Simon's given him a 6, obviously, which is quite low but I'm going to give him a 6 as well because he did some okay work, but yeah, he definitely should have scored at least 1 goal, if not a couple. I mean, I verge towards giving him 5.5, but I think that's a bit mean. I will give him 6 just, but he scraped that. Jesus for Mahrez on 67 minutes, spent most of the time defending and didn't endear himself to a Guardiola when he gave the ball away, because he's right in front of him as well, wasn't it? I'd hate that, it's like being at school, isn't it, in front of the teacher there. He was literally hugging that touchline where Pep was behind him. So yeah, Simon's given him a 6. Yeah, I've given him a 6. I've given him the standard. I'm not going to be mean to him. He came on as a substitute and he did give the ball away 3 or 4 times, but he came on as a substitute and was asked to play a role on that left side, wasn't he? And sort of with the team not playing great, I think he just sort of could have done better. So I'm not going to be cruel to him. I'll give him a 6. Sterling for Foden. We haven't marked him, but you'd mark him -10 for that penalty. That was dreadful, wasn't it? Came off the bench, said Simon, missed a penalty. Awful. Why he was given the pen, I have no idea. I think that's me. I think I said that. I think I put that in. It looks as though Simon said that, but I'm sure I wrote that. Yeah. Awful. Why he was given the pen, I have no idea. Yeah, I'm sure Simon Pekowski didn't comment that anyway. Yeah, man of the match, I think you know there from that scores. Mr. Phil Foden, of course, man of the match. Post-match interviews, comments. Graham Potter, so proud of the players. Yeah, he should be. I thought they played all right last night. They gave everything against the top team. Second half, I thought we improved our game a bit more aggressive. It was really good performance. I thought the boys gave everything. Yeah, they could have easily snuck something last night. Foden commented, I feel we're back to our best. Yeah, okay. Today, I still thought we could have done better, but we dug deep to get the win. I'm very proud of the team, how we kept going to the final whistle. They defended well and made it difficult for us. So to get the goal before half-time was really important. It was, thanks, Phil. And it cheered me up no end. And I'm delighted. I don't score too many with my right foot, so when they come along, I enjoy it. Well done, mate. Yep, quirky stats. Here we go. Not so many today. Up to Joe. Brighton have lost all 6 of their Premier League meetings with Manchester City by an aggregate of 2-20. So, mate, that's 7, an aggregate of 2-21, eh? Seagulls are also on the longest current run without a win in the competition. Yeah, so it's gone to 9 games now. Phil Foden is now City's highest goal scorer in all competitions this season with 8, while no Premier League player has more assists than Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, KDB watch this space. Raheem Sterling is the first player to miss 3 consecutive Premier League penalties since Sadio Berahino, that's it, Saido Berahino, did so between April 2016 and 17. I don't want him to, I dread it in a penalty shootout. I don't want to see Raheem anywhere near penalties, nowhere near. Even in penalty shootout, he's fluffed them a couple of times, hasn't he? Stat City. Phil Foden has now matched his best ever goal scoring tally in a single season, 8 in 2019-20 after 38 appearances, despite making 16. So this is 22 appearances. He's obviously matched his best ever tally with plenty to go. Well done, Phil. That was Phil Foden's 10th Premier League goal for City, making him the 40th player to reach double figures in the competition for the club. There you go. And BBC, we've got some from BBC here, some BBC stats. No side have kept more Premier League clean sheets this season than Manchester City with 8. Who are also having the fewest goals conceded, 13, and we know why that is, don't we? City have won all 7 of their Premier League meetings with Brighton by an aggregate of 21-2. Yeah, we've said that. City have missed 7 penalties in the Premier League since the start of last season, more than any other side. No surprise there. 3 of these have been missed by Raheem Sterling, and we keep giving it him. Don't stop, Pep. Make sure. Give it Kevin, give it Gundogan, give it anybody, give it Edison, I don't care. Don't have Raheem Sterling taking any more penalties. City's Kevin De Bruyne provided the 14th assist of the season in all competitions. No Premier League player has more. Well, I think I might have done that before I lose track. Some of the headlines. Telegraph. Their little comment, it wasn't a vintage performance from City. No, I quite agree. The Sun, Foden continues sparkling form as strike takes City 3rd despite Sterling penalty miss. The Guardian, file that one under not a classic. That's quite funny, made me smile, that one. Well, that certainly wasn't a classic. Sky Sports, Foden magic proves the difference for City. It certainly did. BBC, Brighton lacked cutting edge, needed to get a point. Yeah, and just a couple of papers. We've got the Mirror here with a couple of headlines. Full FUL moon. City match winner Foden says we are back to our best. So that sort of highlights what he said to on camera. And we've got Pep's feel good factor. Play on words. Some of these play on words are awful. Guardiola's been in the mood as Foden cracker fires City to 3rd spot. Yeah, we'll have a look at the table in a minute. So there's the City slickers back to best, says Phil. So it's always nice to get a nice colour 2-page ad, isn't it, in the papers? That's that one. That's the Daily X. So from the Mirror to the Express, I always like a wide range of. As I say, I don't buy these papers normally. I just buy them for the headlines. Foden Philip. There we go. FILLIP. See what they've done there. WizKid strikes to lift City onto heels of leaders. How long is he going to be a kid for? I'm not too sure. He's knocking on a bit now, lads. He's not a kid anymore, is he? Sluggish City are fired up by Foden. Yeah, I don't disagree with that one. Midfielder cheers Pep after wasteful display. Guardiola pushes Phil's Euros case. Yeah, I think he was there last night, wasn't he, Mr. Southgate? So obviously. Yeah, wouldn't have done him any harm, would it? I mean, England, I mean, I say, I don't really watch England that much, but they need someone like Phil, don't they? Bright spark, fantastic Foden fires Blues as title race hots up. That's the Manchester Evening News. Something about the United badge there. It's just one of those things. We have to put up with it, don't we? Foden's not the future. He is now the present. Absolutely fantastic. From the Evening News there. And they usually have a little bit inside, don't they? What else have we got on City in here? His standards are higher. That's why he is playing. So obviously that's Pep on Phil Foden. And De Bruyne will resume as Blues penalty. So here we go. So let me just have a quick look at this for you. Pep has suggested Kevin De Bruyne will continue to be City's penalty taker despite not dusting himself off to take the spot kick last night. The Blues are struggling to see out the victory, but were given a goal. De Bruyne had taken up responsibility after a series of misses. Despite a costly miss, however, it was a late substitute who's been struggling for goals this season who put the ball in the spot after blazing it over the bar, squandering the chance to kill the contest off. It wasn't a costly miss, however, as the referee blew the final whistle. Kevin is the taker, said Pep, but he made an incredible effort, not just the action to press the keeper and create the penalty, but for the rest of the actions before, said Boss Guardiola. He was struggling the last 15 minutes because he was exhausted, but there you go. I'm sorry, he's still the captain, so he should have stepped up. I don't give a if he's on the pitch playing, I don't give a tis how exhausted. He takes the penalty, he's our penalty taker. I like the guys who take the responsibility for the penalty. It was Raz, and next time it will be better. So yeah, I mean, all credit to Raz. He did step up and take it, didn't he? Which is fair enough. I'll show you that there. I mean, that's fair enough for us, but we shouldn't be in that position, should we? I'm sorry, I don't care how exhausted KDB. He shouldn't have played him against Birmingham then, should he? I mean, I don't understand the logic. I'm very disappointed. I'm still a bit angry having heard that reason. As I said, if he took a kick and a little bit of a knock and felt uncomfortable, fair enough, but just not good enough for me. Yeah, so there you go. League tables are up there, aren't they? So let me just have a look at the... Yeah, so we're doing all right, aren't we? So with our game in hand, we'll just go second behind the other rubbish. It's amazing how many guys I speak to now that actually comment about United being top of the league. I've not heard of anything from them for, well, obviously I've not been at where I'm working now for that long. Obviously I've been there only a few, almost a year, but they've not said a bean, and now all of a sudden I'm getting it left, right, and centre from these United fans. Absolutely unbelievable. Just show you, I forgot how arrogant and horrible they are, to be honest with you. But hey, there you go. If we win our game in hand, we're a point behind United. So we sit third because I think Tottenham made a bit of a mess of it last night. There's a surprise. Tottenham cocked up. Yeah, so we're doing all right, aren't we? We're doing all right. Brighton, yeah, they're in 17th now. And if Fulham have got 2 games in hand on them and only 2 points behind. So obviously they'll be in the bottom 3 if Fulham win at least one of those. So yeah, and above Brighton, Burnley have played 2 games less and have got 2 points more, so that doesn't look great. Newcastle on 19 points. They played a game less than Brighton, so they're actually struggling a little bit. You get up to Wolves in the 14th spot before you find a team that's played the same games as Brighton, and they've got 8 points more. So Brighton are in a bit of trouble, aren't they? There, I think they were commenting last night on it. But they play well last night, but they've got injuries, haven't they? But they do like that killer touch in front of goal, don't they? Like a bit like what we do, unfortunately. But I think it's going to be a long, hard season for Brighton, isn't it? I think Mr. Potter may, obviously I don't know if he's, I'll have to check. I don't know what the odds are on him getting sacked. I should have looked at that. So the preview the other day, I usually look at things like that. I must have missed that, but I bet they're quite lowish, I would have thought, but obviously I think Brighton just stick with him because they were unlucky not to get anything last night. I thought Brighton. I thought they played all right, so keep playing like that, they'll be fine. But at the moment, obviously, as I say, as it draws on and they play more and more games, they need to start picking up some points, don't they? I think they've drawn a lot of games as well, which just doesn't help. Yeah, and as far as City, yeah, I mean, I think it's the old saying, isn't it? I mean, we should have really, at 1-0, as I said, I did comment into at half-time that we should perhaps put this to bed now, go on and score another 1 or 2 just to put it to bed. Even though we did have a chance to score, it was a 92nd minute, and we'd had a few problems before then, as we did look a little bit shaky. I mean, yeah, the conditions were poor, but I wasn't the greatest. That's why I only started at a base of 6 when I player ratings last night. If we win games, that's usually 6.5 or 7 as the basis, but I only started at 6. But as they say, obviously teams who actually win when they don't play well, that's a good sign, isn't it? And perhaps that's good. As I say, everything's built on that defence as well, although... Yeah, I said there was a couple of half chances that perhaps we could have let a goal in last night, but we didn't do too much wrong in defence. So not too bad. It was three. Be interesting, won't it? Obviously, we got. If you look at the City in third, I think if Aston Villa win their games in hand, there's like 3 points behind City. We play them next week, don't we? And of course, we've got Crystal Palace, who've been a bit of a nightmare for us recently as well. So they're visiting us obviously on Sunday, aren't we? So join me for a preview of that. Anyway, on that'll be coming out Friday, Saturday. Just keep your eye out for that. Push that bell notification so you know when that's coming out. So that's 7:15 p.m. and. Going to be a late night for me, isn't it? I'm up at 2 on Monday as well. Never mind, we can't have everything, can we? 17th of January, that game, so keep a lookout for that preview. And of course, please check out. I'm going to be at That Was the Week That Was. I'll be on obviously on the Brighton game, and of course the Birmingham game. So I've done the Birmingham questions. I just have to do the Brighton ones now. So that'll be out in the next couple of days. Keep your eyes out for that as well. Just for my little Just for Fun quiz. And a little City Pass thing, 13th of January 1991. A sort of emotional trip for City fans to Goodison. Not in a good way either, in a sort of nasty way, horrible way. But yeah, it's just a little horrible history there. So that's please keep your eye out for that as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you do rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look at your family. More importantly, look after each other.